Newsreader Alastair Stewart addressed what's to come in his broadcasting career after stepping down from GB News earlier this year due to his early-onset vascular dementia diagnosis. Alastair Stewart has shared details about what's next for him as he joined Nigel Farage on his GB News show on Monday night. Reflecting on his career during the program, the 71-year-old said he was sad to retire from the news channel following his dementia diagnosis earlier this year, but revealed it's not the last viewers will see of him. After his appearance on the show, one fan wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter, "I miss @Al Stewart OBE. He was excellent. I am glad he's not too bad. Just not up to the rigors of broadcasting anymore. But we don't forget him." Alistair replied, "Just not up to a regular slot and 24/7 weekend working. Occasional appearances and special one-offs at GB News." A second wrote of his guest appearance, "You were great. So good to see you again," while a third added, "It was lovely to hear you on at GB News earlier tonight." During his chat with Nigel on the show, Alistair said it was wonderful to learn that the new studio had been named after him. He went on to say that despite retiring as a full-time host, he had stayed on the books to return as a guest both on GB News and other programs. Addressing his retirement, he continued, "When I became ill, before I had the formal diagnosis of vascular dementia, I decided it was time to step back a bit because that clearly wasn't helping what was wrong with me." He added the decision made him sad but believes it was the right thing to do. Alistair said his boss completely understood his reasons for stepping back, but wanted to keep him a part of the show for whenever he wanted to return. He added, "GB News looked after me extremely well when I started to become ill and when we jointly decided it was time for me to step back. They couldn't have been nicer nor could they have been kinder. I really value that and so does my family." On how he was dealing with retirement, Alistair replied, "Not terribly well. I still watch the show day in and day out and I still listen to the radio and look at as many papers as I can." He went on to say returning to the show would be as and when he was fired up about something he had seen or heard and wanted to make a contribution. Nigel then joked, "You're not really retired, are you?" Alistair replied, "I am resting. I am retired from doing a regular show like you and Jacob, Rees-Mogg, and the others." Alistair went public with his dementia diagnosis on Camilla Tominey's GB News back in September. He shared, "The headline story, and it is relatively dramatic, I suppose, is that about 6-9 months ago, I began to feel one of my favorite words, a bit discombobulated. I wasn't becoming forgetful but things like doing up your shoelaces properly. That's how I wear these lovely moccasins now, making sure your tie was straight, remembering that the call time for your program is 4 o'clock and not 5 o'clock, not turning up early or late, and stuff like that."